Hello, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are joining us for the first time on this channel, we talk on business in the kingdom perspective. So, if you are a business person, or you're someone looking to starting your own business, or you're a career person that you're looking at diversifying or having a side business that you can run alongside with your career, you are at the right place at the right time on the right channel. For those that joined us last week, we started the series on your journey to six figure in 2024, and today will be like a continuation of what we started from last week. Just a quick recap. Part of the things we disturbed that we emphasized on last week was value is equals to money. So as a business person, we have to be obsessed with people's problem, because the more problem we can create, we can give solutions to at bigger level. The bigger the problem we can solve, the more money we can make. So money is given in exchange for value. These are critical things that we make emphasis on. And there was a Bible verse we read last week where we made emphasis on how there's either scatter and yet increase it, and there's either we do more than necessary but leads to poverty. People bless him who give out the grain when people need it, and they curse him who withhold it. So the grain here we're talking about is the skill, is that talent inside of you, is that something that you have, you possess, that could be a blessing to another person. The Bible didn't say you should give it out for free, but you said you can sell it. But if you withhold it, if you feel it's not good enough and you keep it to yourself, you're not just doing yourself a disservice, but you're doing the generation a disservice. So every one of us, there's this popular saying that the mortuary is the poorest, is the richest place on earth, because there's a lot of talent, there's a lot of glory, there's a lot of things that never came to life. Think about what would have happened if Joseph had never allowed his dreaming skill to come to life. He had never furnished it to the point that he could get to Pharaoh's front and interpret the dream correctly. Have you ever thought of the implication? So a whole generation will have been wiped out with the 7 years of hunger, because his discernment and his ability to interpret Pharaoh's dream give him the opportunity to be able to rescue not just Egyptian but even the people of God during the 7 years of harvest. So today basically we'll be hammering on value creation, because I had a lot of questions after last series, and a lot of people reached out and say, I don't even know where to start from, I'm blank, I don't even know how to navigate which value to create. So today we eat deeply on value creation. So what are the things you can do with what you have and where you are, even from where you are? Or do you have something already you work you have a value already you're taking to the market? So also in this series, in this episode, we'll teach we're going to talk about how you can level it up, how you can scale it to something bigger, and something that can be giving you more turnover in the course of the year. So firstly, I want us to understand something. As believer, we, most of the time as Christian, we tend to always ask for God blessing. We want blessing, we want miracle, but God need a platform to bless us. God needs a platform to bless us. So it's not all the times that miracle don't uh, you know immediately the children of Israel uh, stepped out of the desert, Manasseh. So miracle is not something that happens frequently. God did not keep turning wine, uh, five loaves of bread to plenty all the time, because He need a platform to always bless you. So you have to have something that God can put that blessings on. Most of the time, as Christian, we tends to, okay, you keep praying, you need help, you need destiny helper, you need uh, you need something to just come and just salvage you from what is going on. But what God needs you to do is to give Him a platform that He can bless you in. You remember the story of the widow that lost his husband and run to Prophet Elijah, and the prophet asked him, "What do you have?" I don't have nothing. Same thing, many of you, and a lot of people that came to me, my personal DM, and they try to explain their current situation to me. They don't feel they have something that is worthy to take to the market. Same thing the widow said. I don't have nothing. I have nothing except a few bottle of oil. And it was with that bottle of oil that God used to increase her. And you know something which we'll be talking about in subsequent series. The oil didn't stop until he never had she didn't have the capacity to receive more. So, but that will be in subsequent chapter, because God will keep increasing you until you don't have the capacity to increase to receive more. So, if you want something bigger, you have to create the capacity to receive more. But that is for subsequent episode. So we'll dig deep into that in subsequent video. And you saw the story of Peter also, when God had to use his boat to preach, and after God met with him, a businessman and a religious man, and they are told all the night just to get fish, at least maybe to pay some bills, and and it was quite frustrating, and at the point God came. So same thing, a lot of you, maybe you're already into business and things is not really going well, and at that point you want to start saying that you just want to focus, maybe the little that is coming, you want to focus on yourself. But God sent us to the marketplace to represent him. So that is one thing I want you to get from this episode. We are not just there for ourselves. We are not just doing the business for the essence of feeding or survivor, because uh, we are a container sent to the continent with a content. So you are not just here to survive. You are not just here to do business just to make ends meet, and like the regular get to school, get a good job, start something, get a family, build houses, and at the end of the day, die. It's just normal. There's a greater purpose, there's a greater essence for creation than that. There's a greater essence for creation than that. There's something put inside of you that is not just for you, but for the generation, for your generation, and for generation yet to come. I hope you're getting that. So, and you see how God was able to increase Peter with just putting God first, allowing God to use his boat. So, number one thing I want you to pick from this video is, we as believer, we are not just in the marketplace to just survive. We are not just in the marketplace just to make ends meet. We are there to represent Christ. He said, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but we wrestle against what? Principalities and powers in high places." So the promised land is not empty. There are already giants there doing business in deep, and business on its own is can be difficult. Now doing business in a godly way in a corrupt society, in a society where people now thinks the abnormal to be the new normal, can be really difficult. But still, God still, He said, "I'm the Lord your God who teaches you to profit." I'm the Lord your God who teaches you to profit. You don't have to use the system of the word. If you can follow the principle laid down by God in His word, you will still survive in the marketplace. You will still thrive in the marketplace. You don't have to use their principle, because anybody that takes you up how to maintain you there. So if you want to use the word system principle to move forward in your business or in whatever you're doing, definitely the word system principle has to sustain you there. But if you want God to sustain you up, definitely you have to sit down, kindly learn the kingdom principles, kingdom approach to business of growing, um, for growing, striving business, and grow with it, because it's only on that ground that God can sustain you there. So there's quite a number of scary statistics out there that scare people from going into business. You see 20% of all these new start business die in their first 2 years. We have 45% die in their first 5 years, and 65 in their first 10 years, and only 25% of business that starts new startup live to see their 15 years of existence. And all these figures might be scary, and might want to make you look at or consider starting a business. And a lot of people just say maybe it's a risky venture and you just get employed somewhere. But it has been tested even from scripture this, that one of the way to build consistent and even generational wealth is to create something that can yeah, definitely everybody will not do business, but there's even business in all business. So if you're a career person, there's still business in that. If you're a professional, there's still business in that business. Yes, we'll get to it in this section. And I want us to read Isaiah 48, 17 to 8. Isaiah, sorry, I mean, Isaiah 48 verse 17 to 18. He said, "This is what the Lord say, your Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. I'm the Lord your God, who teaches you what is best for you, who directs you in the way you should go, who directs you in the way you should go. I'm the Lord your God who teaches you to profit. I'm the Lord your God who teaches you to profit. You're an entrepreneur in the marketplace to represent Christ. You're an entrepreneur in the marketplace to represent Christ. So get it clear, and let's hold that first. So um, I want to teach you the levels of value. So we have levels of values and we have forms of value. So firstly, you want to know which level of value you want to operate in. So I have a lot of people that are started business, but at the end of the day, they find out that they don't have a business. You have only create another job for themselves, because the whole essence of why we want to start a business is to have our time and create but create that space and that inner peace for yourself. By the end of the day, you see that you create something for yourself that not only have you choke all up all your time, but you don't even own yourself again. So when you have this kind of system, you don't have a business, you have only created a job for yourself again. So we have four levels of value. Four levels of value. The lowest level, which is the implementation level. The second level, which is the management level. The third level, which is the communication, and the highest level value is the imagination. So I will um, pick on it bit by bit, but I'm sure God will lead us to understand into depth what each level really stands for. So the implementation level, these are people that directly um, get engaged in getting the job done. So are you a hairdresser, a skincare person, a tailor, a barber, a fashion person? Just name it. Provided you get the job done, you get the job done is you are working at the implementation level. And when you're working at this lowest level value, you are paid little. So it might be big in your face, but you're paid little because you're operating at other levels of value. You could earn way, 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 way more. So implementation level is the lowest level of value. And you know, why is it so? It's so because wealth is spiritual. Wealth is spiritual, is a spiritual outcome. Wealth is a spiritual outcome, and the Lord your God who teaches you to profit. He said, "I wishes above all things that your soul prosper and you are, even yourself are prosper." So wealth is a spiritual outcome. If you're in implementation, if you're working at the implementation level, if your business is at the implementation level of value, you are working with two factors. You are working with your energy and you're working with time. Energy is a physical resources. Your time is a limited resources. It's impossible to combine both physical resources and a limited resources to get a spiritual outcome. So that is why hard work doesn't give more money. If we were to be hard work that if hard work were to be equal to more money, maybe people pushing wheelbarrow in the market will have been the wealthiest people in the world today. But you see that the reverse is the case. But smart work does. Sorry. So the next level, which is the management level, for people working in corporate space, you know that. So you see people at the implementation level, they get paid higher. The people at the management level, the unification level. So they just put you on top of the people at the implementation level to coordinate their work, to get them to do the work, um, give you rule to compel them to adhere to, and so that is what they do at the unification level. So you get a little bit paid more than the uh, people working in the implementation level. The third level of value is the communication level. Communication level is so unique that when you're working at the communication level, or if your business is operating at the communication level, you are certain that you can be having a great turnover on monthly basis, on yearly basis, because communication is limitless. Let us check out John 1 verse 1. John 1 verse 1 to verse 1 minute, please. John 1 verse 1. John 1 verse 1. He said, in the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning. Through him was all things were made. Without him, nothing was made that has been made. In him was life, and that life was the light of all mankind. In him was the life, and that life was the light of all mankind. In the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning. Through him, all things were made. Without him, nothing was made that has been made. What it's so powerful. How do you think someone can write a single piece of book and can sell 1 million copy, and for the rest of his life that just one piece of wood can be giving him a monthly turnover? He's not writing another book. He's not thinking while you're sleeping that your copy is making you monthly income, monthly income, monthly income, monthly income. That's how powerful. How do you think someone can release a single, a music, and that music could go viral and could be making him millions of naira, of dollars monthly? Because communication is very, very powerful. Let me give you an example. So revolution of human race. So we started from the Stone Age. We moved to, I didn't know I was going to talk about it. I would have itemized it, how the stages move. But if you can go do your research, check the transition from all the ages in the revolution. We have the IT technology, the ICT age. Check the transition in time, how long it takes us to transit from other stages of revolution to the new stages. You see, from one level to another level, it keep getting lesser and lesser, because communication was getting more easier and easier. You will not be surprised now. Transition now, we're moving into the AI, the visual reality, and transition now is more faster because the level of communication is now. So I can be here now in my place in Nigeria and release this video, and I can be sure that someone elsewhere in continent far away, places that I might not be able to step into, even maybe till I leave the earth, is going to see a copy of this video and could get this information right the same way someone in Nigeria could get it, because communication is very powerful. Communication is very powerful. So if you are any business you are into now, you want to make sure that you go into, start looking at how you can step it up to operating at the communication level. You see how people, even people. So I'm going to tell you something very, very beautiful about the all levels of value. So even if your business model is at the implementation level, there's how you can intertwine and still operate at other levels of value and still package it and push it out to the market as a unique product. So the topest level is the imagination, and these are people that use. So our word is spiritual, word is spiritual, and that's how communication can um, really make that significant impact in the marketplace. So we also want to look at the imagination. So idea rules the world. You see, idea is nothing but people that are, because there's no how you can think and not communicate. So when you think, you also want to communicate. So because anything you think and is not communicated, it it will end up just uh, die in your head. You know how to communicate it, and that's why you see top richest people in the world today are people that have been able to innovate and bet creative ideas that have solved problem for quite a large number of people. So you want to look at the Microsoft, you want to look at Elon Musk, you want to look at Bill Gates, quite a number of them that have critically bettered ideas that is transforming our generation and generation yet to come. And I'm sure in future, in the next few years, quite a number of you watching this video will be innovated to bet things also that will affect our generation and that will shape the trend of our existence. He said the Bible said that do not be conformed to this world, but by the continual renewal of your mind, do not be conformed. You carry something, so you don't have to join the. You know, there's this popular saying that if you can't beat them, you join them. No, it's not scriptural. It's not scriptural. Do not be conformed to this world. Do not be conformed to this world. You are a carrier of light. You have been sent to that market space to shine your light. So, having understand all these levels of value, I told you you can always intertwine and operate at all this level, or set your target on the highest level and start leveling up your business. So also I will also want to share with us forms of value. So that is to answer quite a number of people that have been asking me that they don't know how to what to do or how to start pushing out value or what's add. So there's an already existing list. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. There are already existing template of how forms in which values are that you can also dish out to market. And first of it is product. So it's either you create a product if you have an idea of how you can create a product and sell to the market. It's a value, and you're sure that that product can solve people's problem or meet people's need. There's the Maslow hierarchy of need, which you might also want to check, because this should also guide you in deciding which product you want to create to the market, which product you want to create to the market. So products, which is number one on the forms of value. The second of it is service. So if you are into service, if your business model is into service, so is you're getting things on that. In at this level, you are working with both times and your energy. So I am sure you can fill in the blank. People that already, people that work in service level. The other part of it is share resources. So you might want to acquire in assets, and you get people to use it. So maybe like want to think of getting an amusement park, a museum, or something that a shared resource that people can come and use and pay you. You want to look at subscription, creating a service that people can subscribe to use, and these are system quite a number of businesses leverages on now, because this give you assurance that you can be having a steady monthly turnover. A steady monthly turnover. You want to look at the resale. So you can create, but you can get a producer that create, and you can outsource his product at a lower price and at the lowest possible price, and you can be sure that you can sell it to your audience at at a margin that could earn you a product. So you can get a low margin to a large volume of people, and you can be making also a large turnover on that. You want to look at lease. So you want to lease is getting an asset and also leasing it for a while. So it might be the uh, quite a number of things that you can get and lease lease it out for people to use, and they pay you as they use it. You might want to think that agency. So you people that already have something set up, you can set up an agency that could um, mediate between them and the client, and making the whole essence of all these things is making sure that you are solving problem, making sure you're solving problem, making sure you're solving problem. Do you understand? Making sure you're solving problem, making sure you're solving problem. So you also want to look at audience aggregation is another business that's very lucrative now. People that already have a quite number of followership on a specific niche, you could get someone that you want to get someone that have something for that niche, and you could someone that already have something for that niche, and you could get them to sell to your audience, and you could make money. You understand? So you can build audience aggregation. So you already have your audience. So you just for you to look for people who have an offer for your specific type of audience, and you could get them to sell to them, and you could make also a business from that. You loan. So this will require you have a quite number of capital be you can borrow, and people can return at all these kind of things. It has. So I won't be able to go in depth. Any of these forms of value you want to choose require you to also give it a quite deep thought and critically observe how you can leverage, because the Bible say my people perish because they rejected knowledge. Anything, so any it's not common sense. You just jump into business and say, okay, I want to pick product and just run into it like that. Anything you run with your common sense will get you common results. If you want to get a tangible result from anything, you want to make sure you get in-depth knowledge about it. So you want to think of options. You want to think of options. Option also is a form of value. You want to think of insurance, and you want to think of capital. So I just to save time, I'm keeping time. So I also other forms of value. So these are endless list of forms of value that you can push out to the market. These are endless list that you want to push out to market. I want us to check Romans 12:2, Romans 12:2, Romans 12:2. So sorry, Romans 12:2. Romans 12:2. Sorry. Romans 12:2. He said, please hold on. My internet is a bit slow, so you have to hold on with me. So maybe we have to keep that aside and make progress. So having understand that the forms of value, you want to go to how you can. So in subsequent episode, we'll discuss deeply on how we can now, after we decided which form of value we want to push out, which product we're pushing to the market, or which type of business we're starting. We'll look at how we can now set it up, and how we can market it, how we can make quite a number of turnover, and also how we can start something that will also represent God in the market. But before you finally conclude on the value you're pushing to the market, you don't just decide on based on emotion or something you have passion for. I want you to also think from the marketplace. So this is a mistake quite a number of people make in deciding which kind of business they start. So they just decide based on they decide based on their passion, they decide based on what they like, they decide based on what they think we sell. In as much this is not totally wrong, but the best thing is like you thinking from yourself to the market. So sometimes a lot of people eat because most of the time most of the assumption we have are not totally correct, and you don't want to invest quite a number of your capital in a business and you get into the marketplace to know that something is not totally correct or something is not totally true. So it's better you go from the marketplace. So you think from the audience, you want to be sure of what they really want. So I don't want to say to you what I have. I want to say to you what you want to buy. So I don't want to sell anything to you. What I want to sell to you is what you want to buy. I don't want to give you anything that you don't need. So you too, as a business person and as a kingdom person, don't want to take to the market what you think we sell, but rather you want to take to the market what you know people are willing to buy and able to buy. So think from the market to the product. So after you go to the market, you're sure what people need, then you go back to the product, you understand, and design your product to suit the market. I hope you understand that. And as much as possible, you need to um, they call it titration. So titrate. So uh, testing. So you have something minimum viable offer that you take to the market. You test it, you see the reaction of the market to it. You take it back, iterate it again to make sure until you get the best. So you don't wait until it's perfect, because perfection is the mother of that kills a whole lot of business, because you want to wait till it's perfect. So no, you don't wait till it's perfect. What you have, you keep titrating it. So you don't put all your eggs out. You titrate with what you have, get a minimum viable offer or a minimum viable product, something that is um, good enough to represent what you have, but not as good enough to what you really want. But you want to be sure that whatever you're taking to the market is what the market want, and what they, because I've seen practically quite a number of business that invest billions of naira into business, and at the end of the day, when they get in the marketplace, they see that what they have or what they thought will have scale is not really what the market really needs. So now you now have to start moving from convention to convincing people to want to like what you have, and that is not marketing. So it's knowing what the market really wants, and now go back to your product to tweak it and build it to suit the market's demand. And it is when you start doing that that you know that you are starting a business. And what's the whole essence of business? The whole essence of business is to create value, and create a value that people need and want, and they are willing to pay for. They are willing to pay for, and also meeting unexpected. And at the end of it all, that you are making a profit out of it. At the end of it all, that you are making a profit out of it all, that is when you know you have a business. So I won't take much of our time. This will be where we'll draw the curtain for today's episode. By next week, we'll be moving forward on having the marketing SP. So after you decided, so if you have something you're not clear about something, just drop it in the comment section. I'll be there to reply to your comment on what you're not sure of, or you still have further questions on a specific form of value that you're thinking you're going into, or you already have a business in each of these value system, or you have a system, a value, you are operating on a value system, maybe on service, and you're considering how you can scale your service into a communication. You are thinking how you can scale your service into imagination. This, just drop your comment in the comment section, and I will reply to you. We'll take it up from there. And next week we'll be going into the marketing part, how you can go to the market and make sure your go-to-market strategy is key, and how to make sure that you can strive and get something that will be really acceptable in the market, and good for your audience, you understand. So, lastly, I will want to say, like I started from when we started, as kingdom people, as believers, we are being sent to the marketplace to represent Christ. And that should be our primary focus. To them out there, they call us entrepreneur, they call us business person, but for us, we are apostle in the market. We are apostle in the market. Everybody is not a pastor. Everybody will not have an altar. Your business place is your altar, and you have to represent Christ well. You want to make sure that you are not misrepresenting Christ in that marketplace. So you don't want to do things the same way the world is doing it. You don't want to do things the same way the world system is doing it. There's a godly way of running business. The Bible said that anybody that lacks wisdom, let it ask. Anybody that lacks wisdom, let him ask. The uh, request, the price for getting is just the hunger of wanting. It's just the taste of wanting wisdom. And God can give you the wisdom to run that business, to try from 6 figure to making 7, 8 figures. And it's possible. It's not gimmicks. It works. It works. It's not magic. Just follow the principle and you will get the results. See you next week, same time, and do the YouTube thing. If you're getting value from this video, like, comment, subscribe, share with your family, and support us so that we can reach more people. Um, more people can also benefit from this video. Thank you. Stay blessed. See you next week.